Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's workout is going to be more intermediate level. We will be using a set of weights. We'll use pretty much one weight for the majority of the class, and then we will be using both weights at the end. So I have my second weight just at the end of my reformer there out of the way. I'm using a 2-pound weight, but anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds, depending on how heavy you want to go, should work. I have my spring set up for my footwork setting, so on my balanced body machine, it's 3 heavy red springs, 1 medium blue. Headrest will be down to start, and we're going to be starting with bridges. So keep one weight nearby, and then go ahead, get the reformer set up, and we'll start laying down on our backs.
Once you're laying down, you could place the weight on the carriage, just kind of off to the side, and put the heels on the bar. We're going to be starting with bridges. Take a moment to settle in here. Headrest is down. And then when you're ready, you're going to tuck the tailbone underneath you as you begin lifting the hips up off the carriage. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to roll on down, articulating through the spine. So as you lift up, you're lifting one vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the top, and then you're going to lower one vertebrae at a time, really taking your time here, settling in and getting the pelvis and spine moving. We'll do one more like this, keeping the hips even. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll on down. And then the next one we're going to add on to it with some marches. So go ahead, lift the hips up. You're going to stay up, bring one knee in towards the chest, and then place the heel back down. And then the second one, and place the heel back down. Really squeezing into the glute of the stabilizing leg, trying not to let the hips dip down at all. We'll do about 5 or 6 on each side. Nice, slow, and controlled. One more on each side. When both heels are on the bar, lift the hips up a little bit higher, and then roll on down. Once the hips are on the mat, you're going to bring both legs over the foot bar. Keep the left leg where it is with the right one, straighten the knee and flex the foot. Lift the leg up towards the ceiling and then lower it back down for a straight leg raise. So that knee will stay straight. You're lifting the leg up towards the ceiling and then lowering back down. With the left leg, you can push the calf into the bar, just so that way the muscle is working in opposition. Right leg up towards the ceiling, back down, and you're going as high up until you might feel a little stretch in the hamstring on that right side. Last one here. And then when the leg is down, point the foot, bring the knee in towards the chest of that right side, and then raise the leg up towards the ceiling, and then keep the knee straight as you lower down. Knee into the chest, up towards the ceiling, keep the knee straight as you lower down. 3 more like this, and then we'll switch directions. Last one here. And then when the leg is lowered, we'll pause and reverse. Keep the knee straight as you lift it up, bend the knee, and then straighten it out over the bar. Keep the knee straight as you lift up, bend the knee, and then keep it straight as it goes out over the bar. After this one, you can rest the right leg down on the bar, straighten the left knee, flex the left foot for our straight leg raises. You'll lift that left leg up towards the ceiling and lower it back down. Right calf is pressing into the bar and we're stabilizing through the core, trying not to let the hips rock. We'll go for 2 more. Last one. And then you'll point the foot, You'll bring the knee in towards the chest, and then you'll straighten that leg up towards the ceiling, and then keep the knee straight as you lower it down. Knee into chest, up towards the ceiling. Keep it straight as you lower it down. One more time around like this. And then when the leg is straight over the bar, we'll reverse. Keep the knee straight as you lift up, bend the knee, and then straighten it out over the bar. 4 more like that. Just reversing the direction. Last one. And then when that leg is straight, you can rest down. You're going to pick up your weight and put it in your left hand. Put the heels on the bar. If you would like the headrest up, go ahead. As you press out, you're going to punch the left arm up towards the ceiling. So that's how we'll start here. So as you press out with the heels on the bar, left hand will be punching up towards the ceiling. We're going for 8 to 10 reps. Last one. And then the next combination will be arches on the bar and hug a tree position. I like using both hands for hug a tree. So as you press out, we'll close that position. And then as you bring the carriage in, the arms will open to hug a tree. 8 to 10 reps here. Last time. And bring the carriage in. Toes will go on the bar, heels together. We're in a Pilates V. You're going to press out as you bring the left arm overhead. Pause here for a second. Now, as you bring the carriage in, you'll bend the elbow and then straighten it out. So we're doing an overhead tricep press with a Pilates V position with the legs. So as the carriage comes in, the elbow will bend. As you straighten out the legs, the elbow will also straighten. One more to go. And bring the carriage in. You could bring the weight into the right hand. We're going to repeat those arm movements, but with different leg positions. So first one, heels will go wide, hips externally rotated. As you press out, you'll punch the right arm up towards the ceiling. Bring the carriage in, and then we'll internally rotate. Knees come together with our hug a tree. So as you press out, come into hug a tree, and then the arms will open as you bring the carriage in. Knees will be touching, and then as you press out, the knees will naturally separate and then naturally come back together as you bring the carriage back in. Last one. And bring the carriage in. Toes will go back on the bar, hip distance apart. You're going to press the carriage out, stay out, bring the right arm to overhead, and we'll do our heel raises with the tricep. So as you let the heels drop, you'll bend the elbow, and then as you lift the heels, you'll straighten the elbow. About 6, 7 more like this. Last one. And then bring the carriage on in. Come on off. We're going to put on one medium blue spring and take everything else off. You're going to put the foot bar down, and then we'll put the long box on. I forgot to bring the foot bar down, so I had to stop and do it later, but go ahead, bring the foot bar down now. And then we're going to come on the box. Your left shin will be on the box. The right foot will be on the carriage next to the box. you're going to have the strap in the right hand. Strap in the left hand, weight in the right hand. The right elbow will be out in front. I'm holding on to the tape with my left hand. And then we're going to do a row, and that right arm will stay straight. So bend the left elbow in towards your side. Right arm is just out. You can have a slight bend in the elbow, but we're just holding it out. I have my palm up. So row at that left side and just stabilizing through the right. Last one. And then we're going to add in a rotation. So bend the right elbow at your side. You'll row and rotate with that left side as you punch the right arm out into our offering. So row with rotation as you straighten the right arm out. So we're rotating towards the left and doing an offering with that right arm. Last time here. And then hold on to the short loop. And then with the right arm, you're going to have the arm out to your side, elbow in line with the shoulder, palm facing down. Do a chest expansion with the left, hold, rotate so that way the right arm is up, and then lower back down, and then the left arm will come forward. So pull back, hold. We're pivoting through the elbow to raise the right arm up and down. So we have a chest expansion, and then we have shoulder external rotation with the weight is what we're doing there. Try to keep the elbow in line with the shoulder the entire time. And engaging around the shoulder blade on that right side to keep the elbow back. I want to make sure that the arm's not creeping forward at all and it's not creeping down. Elbows in line with the shoulder in height and bringing it back in line with the shoulder. Last time, that chest expansion hold, external rotation with the right, and then left arm comes forward. Good. You could put the weight down on the headrest, and then that left arm palm will be up for bicep curls. Bend the elbow, and then straighten the elbow. The higher up the elbow stays, the more challenging it will be. Core is engaged. You're standing up nice and tall. Last time. And then you can hang up that strap. We're going to come into a lunge set, so if you need to bring the right leg forward a little bit, you can, and then tuck the left toes on the box underneath you. Stand up nice and tall, and we'll go for lunges. You're going to lower down and then use that right glute to come back up. So it's lunges, but we're feeling a lot of work in that right side. Last time. And then we'll go back into that lunge position and we have pulses. So stay in your lunge, little pulses, squeezing through that right glute, up an inch, down an inch. Here we go. And then stay in this lunge position with the left leg. You're going to bring the left leg up. So you tap the toes forward and then back. So we're just moving through that left leg, right leg is stabilizing. You're keeping the weight in the right leg. If you feel the reformer bouncing a lot, it means that you're putting too much weight through that left side. So it's just a little tap, kind of like you're tapping on eggshells. So really try not to break those eggshells. Little taps. And then come all the way up. Good. You're going to scoot back and put your toes on the platform. Hands will go to the box. Press out to your plank position, hold here, and we're going to do push-ups. So only going as far down as you feel comfortable, bending the elbows and then working through the triceps and our rhomboids to push back up into that plank position. Last time. And then bring the carriage in. You can put the right shin on the box, left foot will go on the carriage. Next to the box, we'll pick up your weight in the left hand and the strap in your right hand. Left arm is going to be out in front. You're holding onto the tape, and we have our row with the right. No rotation yet. You're just bending the elbow in towards the side and then controlling it back out. The left arm is out in front. You can have a slight bend in the elbow. You're up nice and tall, reaching through the crown of your head. Core is engaged. Last one. And then we're going to the row with the rotation with the offering. So left elbow at your side, row with rotation with the right as you punch that left arm out into our offering. So rotating towards the right, punching that left arm out. Last time here. And then you're going to hold on to the short loop with the right hand. Left elbow will be in line with the shoulder, palm facing down. Chest expansion, hold. You're going to pivot that left arm up and down and then bring the right arm back in. So we have that chest expansion, hold. You're squeezing around that right shoulder blade to hold that right arm back as we do that external rotation with the left arm. Two more times. Check in with that left arm. Make sure the elbow is still in line with the shoulder. Last one. And then you could place that weight on the headrest. And we have our bicep curl. So flip the palm so palm is facing up, and then you'll bend the elbow and straighten the elbow. Trying to keep the elbow in line with the shoulder again, best that you can. One more. And then you can hang up that strap, and we have our lunges. So tuck the right toes on the box, come up to a standing position. And then I like to have my hands together at heart center. You're going to lower down and then squeeze into that left glute to lift back up. So nice and steady here. Again, not too much movement through the carriage. I like having it on a light spring because it makes it easy to move. So you really have to work hard on control. Last one. And then we'll come back into our lunge position. Hold it there for little pulses. Pulsing down an inch, up an inch. Trying not to bounce, using that left glute to do the work. And then we're going to hold it in the lunge position, and we have our tap. So with the right leg, you're bringing the right foot forward and then back. So just tapping it all the weight stays in the left leg. You're trying not to put any weight in the right toes. It's all balancing on the left and just moving that right leg up and or forward and back. Almost there. And then come all the way up and come on off the carriage. You can grab the weight and just put it on the platform out of the way, and then change the spring so you're on one heavy red. Take off the medium blue. You're going to pick up the straps, turn to face the foot bar, make sure the straps don't get crossed, pull a little bit, and then you're going to sit on the top third of the box facing the foot bar. Grab hold of the short loops, and we're going to go into backstroke. So you're going to come to lay down on your back. Legs will be in tabletop, elbows bent. You have a soft fist, and arms are by your head. You're going to straighten everything up overhead and then circle the arms and legs around and down as you lift more up through the chest, and then bend everything in. So everything straightens overhead. Circle the arms around and down, arms and legs. Bend everything in. You're in a chest lift the entire time. So when you circle everything around and bring it together, really try to lift up even more through the chest. Let's do 2 more here. And then you're going to rest down, and we're going to build off of that. So we're going to build off of that up position. So come back up. We'll go into backstroke. So everything will straighten overhead, circle around and down, hold here. With the legs, you'll bend the knees in and then straighten it out. So our double leg extension 5 times. Both knees in, both legs out. Stay lifted through the chest, strong through the arms. Last one. And then when the legs are straight, we'll pause, and you're going to do little walks up towards the ceiling, and then little walks lowering back down 5 times here. Little walks up towards the ceiling, and then back down. Still lifted through that chest. Arms are still at your side. Last time, little walks up, little walks down. And then when the legs are down, you could bend the knees in and rest everything down. We have 1 more set like that. So come back up into your backstroke start, knees in tabletop, arms in front of your head, raise everything up, circle the arms and legs around and down. And then in this position, we have little circles with the arms. We'll do 5 in each direction. To lower the legs, the more challenging on the core. And then pause, and we'll go into scissors. So we're going to scissor the legs. This is our last set here. Stay strong, stay lifted through the head and shoulders. And then bring the knees in, rest everything down. So I like to just melt over the box. You could let the straps drop, and then very carefully come on up and come on off the carriage or the box. We're going to move the box so that way it's in short box position. Add on either a medium or a light spring, so you're on 1 heavy red and I'm on 1 medium blue, and then put the foot bar back up into your footwork settings. You're going to grab the weight, and then you're going to kneel on the carriage facing the box, and we have a glute set here. The weight will be in your right hand, left heel will go on the bar, elbows on the box, forearms on the box, and begin pressing out and in here, squeezing into that left glute. We're going to add in some arm movements in a moment, but right now we're just kind of getting situated here, getting that left glute activated. Pressing the carriage out and in, straight line through the spine, core is engaged. Head is in line with the spine. Last one. Bring the carriage in. You'll do the same thing with the legs, but you're going to punch out that right arm as you press out. So the right arm will be punching out, and then as the carriage come in, elbow will bend in. I have my palm facing inward, so my thumb is up towards the ceiling. One more to go. and bring the carriage in. Now with the arm, we're going to do a circular motion. So as you press out, you'll punch the arm out, circle around and to your side. So punch out, circle around and to your side. And we're still doing the same movement with that left leg, heel is on the bar, pressing out and in. Last one like this. And bring the carriage in. Take a quarter turn to your left so that right forearm is on the box. You have the entire left foot on the bar. Weight is now in the left hand. As you press out, that left arm will be going up towards the ceiling and then lowering back down. You're leading with the thumb, so the palm is facing forward. As you press out, it's the thumb leading, okay? Next time you press out, hold it out, arm is up towards the ceiling, lower the arm down in front of you and then back up towards the ceiling. So down in front of you, back up towards the ceiling. Staying strong in that left glute, carriage is not moving. And you should be feeling a lot of pressure in that right arm as well. Core is engaged. And then you could bring the carriage on in. We'll go right into that second side, so turn to face the box again. You're going to keep the weight in the left hand. Now you have the right heel on the bar. For now, both forearms on the box and begin pressing the carriage out and in. So just warming up through that right glute before we add in any arm movements. Right heel on the bar, weight is in the left hand. Last time like this, and then we'll add in that punch as we press out. So as you press out, you're punching out that left arm. So pressing with that right heel on the bar, the left hand will be punching out in front of you as you press the carriage out. Last time like this. And then we'll add in that arm movement. So now as you press out, you'll punch the arm out, circle around, back to the side as you bring the carriage in. So just a nice circular movement. And we're doing the same thing with the leg. We're just pressing out and in, squeezing that right glute. And we have that circular movement with that left hand. Last one like this. And then bring the carriage in. Take a quarter turn to your right. Your left forearm will be on the box. The entire right foot will be on the bar. And begin pressing out and in here. Weight is now in the right hand. As you press out, that right arm will go up towards the ceiling. You're leading with the thumb again. Next time you press out, keep the carriage out, hold with that right leg, lower that left arm down in front of you, and then squeeze around the shoulder blades to help bring it back up. So just a lower lift of that right arm. And we have a nice long line throughout the body from the heel all the way up to the head, squeezing in that right glute. Almost there. Next time that arm is overhead, you could bring the carriage on in. Come to sit on the box, and we'll stretch out the hips before moving on. So sitting on the box, you can cross one ankle over the opposite knee, sit up nice and tall, keeping the spine straight. You can hinge forward, feeling a stretch in the outer hip. And then you can uncross, go ahead and switch sides, and we'll stretch out the opposite hip, keeping the spine straight, hinging forward. And then you can uncross here, come on off the box, take off the medium or the light spring, so we're left with one heavy red, and we're going to move the box so that way it's sitting on the frame right in front of the risers. You're going to pick up your second weight, so you have both weights in your hands. Carefully step into the well, come to sit on the box, and then your feet are going to go on the shoulder blocks. We're going to be doing hamstring curls here. You'll have a weight in each hand. We're going to be in a hug a tree position. And then you're going to bend the knees as you pull the carriage in towards you, working through the back of the legs. So bending the knees, pulling the carriage in towards you, sitting up tall, core is engaged. And then arms are in just a soft hug a tree position just to get some more abdominal involvement. We'll do one more like this, and then we're going to add in an oblique rotation. So pull the legs in, hold, rotate to your left, back to center, extend the legs. Pull the carriage in, hold, rotate to the left, back to center, extend the legs. Each time you rotate, think about sitting up a little bit taller, really turning through the torso. We're keeping the hips facing forward, you're just moving the trunk. And we're still in that soft hug a tree position with the arms. This is the last one. And then we'll go right into the right side. So pull the carriage in, pause, rotate to the right, back to center, and extend the legs. We'll do 4 more to the right side. We'll make this one our last one. Rotating to the right, back to center, extend the legs. And then we're going to add in some rollbacks. So pull the carriage in towards you, and we're going to hold it here. You're still in a hug a tree position. You'll scoop the stomach as you begin rolling back, and then come back up to an upright position. So scoop, roll back just as far as you feel comfortable, and then back to upright. The knees are bent, carriage is not moving. Two more here. Last one, scoop, roll back, come back up to upright, and then extend the legs. We have one more thing here. So we'll be moving the arms and the legs at the same time. Pull the carriage in, scoop, roll back, extend the arms. This is the start position. You're going to bring the arms overhead as you straighten out the legs, and then pull everything back in. So bring the arms overhead as you straighten the legs, and then pull everything back in. We're staying in a scooped position. We're going for about 10 of these total. Stay strong, only bringing the arms as far up as you feel comfortable. Last one. And then you can sit on up, extend the legs. You're going to carefully stand in the well and then come on out of the well. Take the box off, place it off to the side. We are done with the box, and we are done with the weights. You could leave the straps off the reformer, come to kneel on the reformer, feet up against the shoulder blocks, hands on the bar. We're going into roller coaster. Come into a cat position with the spine, sit back towards the heels, and then without moving the arms, push the carriage out, and then we'll finish with a down stretch. So hips are forward, use the arms to bring the carriage in. Once the carriage is in, roll through the spine, sit back towards the heel, press out with the legs, use the arms to bring the carriage in, lifting up through the chest. So we're just flowing through spinal flexion and extension. So beginning to cool down our bodies. Last one in this direction. And bring the carriage in. And then we're going to reverse it. Keep the hips forward, use the arms to press out, and then roll through the spine, bring the carriage in. Once the carriage is in, roll all the way up and come into a lumbar extension. So we're just doing a reverse roller coaster. We're going through about 5 of these total, taking your time here, really enjoying that movement, going from spinal extension to flexion now. And bring the carriage into the stopper. Once the carriage is in, come to stand on the reformer on the carriage for elephant. You're standing back towards the shoulder blocks, starting in a rounded spine, hips over the feet. Push out with the legs, keeping the heels down, and then use the core to come forward. You're not moving through the arms at all. You're just pushing out with the legs and then using the core to come forward. We're in a rounded spinal position the entire time. If you would like more of a stretch through the hamstrings, keep the heels down, lift the toes up. This is the last one. Bring the carriage in. Come to kneeling, and we're going to finish with a stretch. You're going to put the right foot on the platform. You could put the shin up against the foot bar, press out. The left foot is against the shoulder block, so we're stretching out. So it's kind of like an eaves lunge, but we're doing it with the foot on the platform. Bring the carriage in, press out again, feeling a stretch through that left hip flexor. Chest is open and we're in an upright position. Bring the carriage in. We're going to press out like that one more time. If you feel comfortable, you could raise both arms to overhead, maybe come into a small spinal extension. Again, you have the shin against the foot bar for some stability. Really getting into that left hip flexor. And then hands to the bar, bring the carriage in. And then one more time, we're going to press out and then straighten into the front leg for a stretch through the hamstrings. And then bring the carriage in and we'll switch. Right foot will go up against the shoulder block. Left foot will come onto the platform, left shin into the foot bar. Keep the chest up as you press out with that right leg, keeping contact with the shin against the foot bar. So getting into that right hip flexor. Bring the carriage in. We'll press out again. This time, if you feel comfortable, you can bring both arms to overhead, maybe come into a small back extension to get more of a stretch into that right hip flexor. Hands will come to the foot bar, bring the carriage in. One last stretch here. You'll press the carriage out and then straighten out into that front leg for more of a stretch into that left hamstring. And then you could bring the carriage on in and you were all done. Thank you for joining me. If you like this workout, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time.